If it wasn't for therapy, man, I'd probably be doing life for triple homicide.
Okay. I'm gonna ask a simple yes or no question, and then we can move on from here. Mental health issue. Do you think you were going through some mental health issue?
Man, that's not even a yes or no. That's a hell yes because I was dying. I grew up with ADHD.
This ain't about views and likes, man. This is about bars.
Woo! Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Yo, Puffy, who that African rapper sounding nice on my bit?
And the day before the raid, I was supposed to be down there, but my ex-girlfriend saved my ass. She called me while I was about to pull up to the house and told me come to New York. Lo and behold, the feds got a camera on the house. They see every car that's parking and pulling up.
Wow.
So instead of me parking, I just turned, came up the other street and left and drove from Trenton all the way to the Bronx. She took my car keys. Got me there at 7 in the morning.
I'm sure you have fun.
Yeah, because we were arguing all night. You're not going anywhere. So like, boom, all right, bet. I fell asleep in the house. Woke up the next morning, cooked me breakfast, and I left for Jersey. So when the raid went down, first thing, break the phone. I broke my phone, and I dipped up to somewhere to watch I didn't stay home. I thought I was next to get swooped up. I scrambled somewhere safe, and I started making calls from checking on everybody. Certain people were hiding out. This one's hiding out. This one's hiding out. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then I heard when the paperwork came out, we found out the star of the show, and then we found out that like, yo, my number was in the top 5 phone numbers for that week. So I'm like, oh man. It was the top 5 phone numbers that was calling everybody's phones or who was getting incoming, outgoing calls to me. So I'm like, oh damn. And then like my ex told me, she was like, I had a dream that afternoon that you were in an orange jumpsuit with handcuffs. And we hadn't talked we were beefing. Me and her were beefing.
Wow.
And she said, when I woke up for the dream, I just called you and I was like, I pray this dumb nigga pick up the phone. And I picked up the phone. And when she said she want to see me, and usually I'd be like, what the fuck you want? I was like, all right, boom, I spun out and we're headed up top.
Damn. It would have taken me, I'm telling you, man, it would have taken me like fucking, I don't know what would have taken me for me to go and see my ex-girlfriend, man. Fuck that.
Exactly.
I'd be like, fuck that shit, yeah.
Now imagine if I had that mentality, like, yo, fuck this bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I probably wouldn't have picked out.
I went in the house, hung out there to 6 in the morning, then left. The feds got the license plates to the rental I was driving. Automatically, don't think I'm up to something legal because I'm driving a rental. They traced the rental. Poor me would have been sitting there coming home from Juma prayer like I done prayed this Friday. And Juma prayer when the bus went down because I was supposed to go see my man again. But my uncle saved me that morning. Take me to Juma prayer. We're leaving Juma prayer at 2 o'clock. The feds are gearing up to raid. We get to Jersey City at 3. We hit the news. The feds are raiding every spot on the news.
Damn.
I'm looking at my friends perp walking on camera. I am like.
So let me get this shit straight, y'all. You are out here going to church, going to the mosque and shit like that. You still out here being a gangster on the street?
Hey man, listen man. Every gangster don't think because we gangsters. Every they believe in God don't mean they don't. Just because they do bad don't mean they ain't good people. Right or wrong. Right or wrong.
That should make no sense, yo. Just because they do bad don't mean they're good people.
Exactly. Just because he do bad things don't mean he don't got a good, clean heart. He just made wrong. He's stuck in the life. He's stuck in the only thing he know, right or wrong.
Yeah, facts, man. I mean, I hear that, yo. Like, hey,
like, for example, you watch The Godfather, right?
Yeah.
The Corleones, the most devoted Catholic, yo.
But those motherfuckers are Italians. The Italians are religious as fuck. You know what I mean?
Gangster, but gangster as fuck.
Yeah.
So look at it like that. Like, I'm not Italian. I'm African.
Yeah.
I'm a born Muslim kid. I ain't no convertee. I'm a born Muslim kid.
That's what you know, man.
Like, one thing I think saved me, because anytime I did something, I always prayed before I went and did something. And like, I'd be in a car reading the surah to myself, and I talk to Allah, like, Allah, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
or protect me.
So
I'm like, but
do you
like
regret? Do you regret any of the lifestyle that you led up until this point?
I mean, Jay said it best. You got to learn to live with regrets. Like there's certain things I regret, but it's all trials and tribulations. I wouldn't be the man I am if I didn't go through these storms in my life. If I didn't go through these phases, I wouldn't be the person I'm sitting here talking to you. I wouldn't be him if I didn't go through that.
I agree, man. I personally don't live life of regret myself neither because I feel like
You
can do about it. You know what I mean?
Like I don't believe in wins and losses. I believe in wins and lessons.
Mm-hmm.
When you lose, you learn a lesson how not to move, how to move again. When you win, you still learn a lesson on how you could have done it better.
Hold on a second. All right, hold on. Now, you recovered from your eye injury. I understand that you came back. You're living with your mom again, and then your mom said something. Your mom said something to you like, "You're not my son," or something to that effect.
All right, what happened was like after I got attacked, like that thing made me paranoid to the point where I was like everywhere in the house, there was a hidden gun.
There was a what?
Hidden gun.
A gun.
I stashed guns everywhere. I was sleeping with a Mac 11 under my pillow every night, my hand on the trigger.
Wow, weren't you scared that you're gonna blow that shit on your own head?
I was that paranoid that these niggas missed me, they would try to come again. Especially when you've never realized something of that magnitude and then who you are in the streets. When you get touched like that, you get paranoid. Like, I'll be looking out the window. I would walk around the house, have a 38 on me. I was so paranoid, like, these niggas would try where my family lay. And I couldn't have that. So I slept with a Mac 11 under my pillow. I slept with a machete within reach. Like, I had pistol stashed. It was bad. The first year was bad. So, like, and then, like, I was so volatile that I was snapping. I could be calm and then somebody say something and it's like a switch went off and I just snapped. So my mom one day she was so fed up. She couldn't deal with it anymore because she had a heart attack a week later. The stress of me having to do what I did to her, she almost had a heart attack. They had to rush her to the emergency room. She had to be in the hospital for a week.
Oh, wow.
So months passed and I was just bored. So my mom said me, she was like, "Yo, you're not my son no more." She's like, "You've turned into this demon. I don't know what happened." And that shit fucked me up. That's the woman that gave me life telling me I'm not the man that she knew. That this attack has turned me into a monster to where she's afraid for my life, the way I think and what I'm gonna do. So I spoke to my best friend and I called her at 2 a.m. I was like, "Yo, I need to ask you something," because that's the only person like I trust. Like, I know if I ask my street niggas, they just tell me some bullshit, you feel me?
Yeah.
They'll justify why I'm flipping. But I know my best friend, shout out Q, Fulamusu. I know Fulamusu won't play that. So I called Q 2 a.m. I said, "Hey," and we hadn't talked in a while. Because I refused to talk to her. I didn't want my best friend to see me weak like that. So I called her and I was like, "Yo, best friend, what's up?" She's like, "What's up? What's wrong?" It's 2 a.m. I know you. Something's wrong. I said, "Hey, I got something to ask you. Do you think I'm acting?" "Yes, you are acting different." But here's the background. Unbeknownst to me, my mom called my best friend and was like, "I don't know what to do with your friend anymore. I've tried everything. I'm just at my wit's end. I'm tired. I'm frustrated." And she's like, "All right." My mom wanted me to go to therapy and I was blowing that shit off. But I was like, "Yo," my best friend was like, "Yo, you need help. This is something that got you to a point where now you're like evil." Like, she's like, "There's a time I used to talk shit to you. You just blow me off. Now I get a headache thinking of what to say to you that won't get me smacked." And I felt bad that the person I love dearly, that's my backbone, is telling me that. And she's like, "Your mom and siblings feel that way too." And that shit hurt. I cried on the phone. And I was like, "Yo, all right, what do I got to do?" She's like, "Go to therapy." I'm like, but she's like, yeah, you're a gangster, but Tony Soprano went to therapy. You just don't discuss street business. And I was like, but my attack, she's like, you discuss what the attack's done to you, you don't discuss the particulars of it. And growing up as a black man, we weren't taught how to be emotional.
And it's a good point too. And then it's kind of like something that we are slowly trying to destigmatize, especially mental health.
Yeah, it's like now we're getting older as men. We're getting older. We're at that point in life where we could have children, and we're trying to figure out like my child can't be caught up in this cycle.
Yeah.
So we have to break it. And like I won't lie, like therapy helped me a lot. It helped me to cope with this shit and deal with it, because if it wasn't for therapy, man, I'd probably be doing life for triple homicide.
Okay. I'm gonna ask a simple yes or no question, and then we can move on from here. Because of my background as well, and I take this thing a little serious. Mental health issue. Do you think you were going through some mental health issue?
Man, that's not even a yes or no. That's a hell yes, because I was dying. I grew up with ADHD. Mind you. Then with the traumatic effects of how I got attacked, PTSD, then I suffer from bipolar disorder after this. And as a black person, a black male in America, we're stigmatized to it. What you crying for? I'll give you something to cry about growing up so you don't cry. We're never taught how to love or say I love you. As Africans, we don't hear that I love you.
Yeah.
Our way our parents loved you was we had a roof over our head, we had food in the fridge, we had clothes, but you never heard those.
They were like, motherfucker, did you eat today? Alright.
Yes.
Is your ass fucking naked? No?
Or you be joking, or you be like, or you sit back and be like, oh, you don't love me. But yo, get out, you goats. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me, say I love you. Do I look white to you? My daddy did not tell me he loved me, but I knew he loved me. And it affected, like with me, it affected me in relationships. It affected me with how I moved, how I loved, and like it's now like I had to decompress and decompose myself and recompose myself to reconfigure it. Because how I looked at things growing up as a man now, I know that was totally wrong. But I can't blame our parents because their upbringing is different.
Facts.
And like my aunt always tell me, you can expect us to change what we know. You change, and I'm like, yeah, and I feel like mental health is a very big issue, but people need to take it serious.
It sure is, yo. Shout out to everybody that's been battling mental health issue. The biggest,
especially now with Corona too.
For real,
mental health played a big part. So like,
I'm telling you,
I'm not afraid to tell people like, yo, if you really need to go to seek therapy or seek help. Like me, I was talking to a black therapist.
Yeah.
And don't just go see any therapist. Find somebody that can relate to what you're going through, because it'll help your treatment.
And then, by the way, you don't necessarily have to be going through some shit to see a therapy either. Okay?
Man, I've got a friend of mine that just got married. My right hand, he just got married, right? Him and his wife don't got issues like that, but they just go to therapy to make sure their relationship is in order.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you just need somebody, sometimes you just need that listening ear that's not going to judge you. That's not going to like...
We're not going to be... Not give you stupid advice.
Exactly, man. So, hey, yo. And it doesn't matter how strong you are as a man. Case in point, Tyson Fury, man. Shout out to Tyson Fury. He's a boxer. Current heavyweight champion. Tyson Fury. Yeah. Even him. The baddest man on planet right now. He can probably fuck everybody up. And this motherfucker...
Yo, listen, Deontay Wilder coming back for his belt, but we'll argue about that later, because you're a boxing man, I'm a boxing man. We're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, definitely, man. Ayo, even him, he suffered from mental health issues, man.
He says it in his interviews.
He does. I mean, this guy blew up. I mean, the guy was drinking. He talked about how he almost killed himself. And then this is a man that was rich. Well, it's still rich. You know what I mean? Like, he has everything. He's got a beautiful wife.
The poorest man, the richest man still got feelings and emotions, man. Trauma is real in black men's lives, especially us black men. Trauma is real in our lives. Yeah. Like,
so,
I've seen things.
I really wanted to touch on that, and I was hoping that you go there, and I thank God that you did go there with me, man, because, especially Africans, I have a lot of African listeners on here, and these are things that we need to destigmatize, for real.
Don't let our culture, respect our culture. That I will always, first and foremost, respect your culture, respect our heritage, respect where your roots are planted, but don't be afraid to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Fact.
Because when you walk around with all stuff compartmentalized in you and you just box it up, that's the type of stuff that causes heart attacks, strokes. You gotta release.
Yeah.
And I had to learn when I got attacked is when I learned how to let go. Even at that, I'm still learning how to.
Facts, man.
And like it's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like some days it's hard. Like even with relationships. Like after I got hurt, it was hard for me to express myself. It's now I'm able to talk to a woman and tell a woman how I feel or what's going on, or able to communicate with them. So when they bring something to my attention, I've done wrong. Us African men, we see our, but y'all get top. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
Hey, I'll confess, man. I'm still working through that, but if you don't gonna have that issue, right?
I'm trying to say I ain't protected that shit. I'm working on that shit right now.
Man, it's hard to express your feelings, bro. You try to keep your G, yo.
When you want to talk how to express them, you don't want to look weak or vulnerable. But sometimes you got to lay your cards on the table.
Facts,
roll the dice.
Yeah. Hey, man, we working through it, man. We all got issues, bro. No matter how successful, no matter how poor, no matter how rich, no matter how strong you are, man, everybody got some mental...
Emotions are emotions, man.
Facts, man. Hey, like I said, I'm glad we touched on it, man, for real. Now, so just to recap, you know what I mean? You're growing up, you're going through some shit, your eyes got busted, you went through some mental health issues, and then you at a crossroad, you had to make a decision. You decided to go to school. Talk us through it. Why not go back to the life that you led, but you decided to go get education?
Because that was my goal in the long run, because I had already planned to go back to school. That was the decision I made 2 weeks before my attack. I talked to my brother's specialist about it. And he was like, yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I'm still. So now you back to school, your boy specialist.
Yeah, my brother's specialist told me, like, yo, go back to school, go learn the game. And I felt like, when you know the game, like, all right, and also, I felt like I'm a businessman. If I was able to run a lucrative enterprise in the streets, I could take those skills and put them into use to get a college degree. You feel me? Because a lot of the rappers, they don't got college degrees and they get robbed. So, like, I went back to school. I got my associates in business management, and then I got accepted to Seton Hall University. Went to Seton Hall and just became a legend. Like, cool with all the ball players, cool with all the cheerleaders, all the pretty girls wanted to hang around me because me and my crew, we was really like, me and my crew in college, we was really them dudes. We was fly. We always kept it respectable, you know what I mean? We was the dudes who like if you listen to Fulani Blue Eyes, I said it in Fulani Blue Eyes, who I am. So that basically explains who I am. If you got 848, go listen to that. But like,
hey, shout out to 848 album, man. I'm gonna do an album review on it and I'll post them on channel, man, because I think it's a good album. So, and you were a little older than them too, right?
I was older, and I felt like that's what killed me, because I was like, damn, I'm older. But at the end of the day, I realized I made more impact of being older, because I was the cheat code for the younger, especially the black men coming up and seeing all who from the hood. Like, I'm looking at me like, wow, he's an older gentleman and he's in school and he's really successful already. He already famous in the streets, but he's in college. Mm-hmm. He's on D's list. He's cool with the president of the school. He's cool with the provost. Him and the head coach are cool. He knows all the ball players. Like, it was about leading by example. And that's what made me transition from the streets more. I'm looking at these young boys look at me like I'm something. And I got nieces and nephews that are teenagers that are looking at me like, oh, they're going to be like, my niece is graduating from high school this year. My other nephew's a freshman. My other nephew's a sophomore. My other nephew's in junior high. So they're going to look like, Uncle Alfred didn't go to college. Well, I got to go to college. And I'm their father figure, so that was my motivation. Like, I had to set the standard to where they can't tell me no. And I did it in a way where I graduated with honors, 16 job offers, but you know, this mother, ooh, I hate him. This orange bastard in the White House fucked the whole country up.
16 job offers on the table.
Yeah, but like I look at it like this, right? If it wasn't for me not taking those job offers, I wouldn't have fully pursued interstate runner. Because my shout out Don Chico, LAME, Lane, my business partner Lane, I stopped rapping. I was done with rapping. That's why I disappeared for so many years. That's why you never heard of me, because I disappeared for a good minute. I was comfortable. I was sad. I was cool being a square. And my man Don Chico had to remind me, like, yo, no, we was studying for an accounting final, our midterm, and I said, he had his project. I was like, yeah, get the hard drive. And he seen the hard drive crack the code to it. Like, he put the hard drive in, but then my music had a code on it. I don't know how this motherfucker figured out that four-digit code. He entered it. And he didn't give me the hard drive back. All night he was doing his project, just listening to my records in there. So like we was in class and he's whistling my record, but me, mind you, I'm listening. I was like, nah, he might be cool. And then he started rapping shit. I was like, I didn't look at him. He's sitting next to me. I ain't pay attention. You know, we Africans, we play stupid, but in our head we're like, fuck, my secret's out. We walk out of class. He's like, yo, here go your hard drive. I said, oh. And then he goes to his phone. He gets in his car. He was leaving campus. I just hear my song blasting as he's pulling off. I said, oh, fuck. So I waited until he came back to the dorm. I'm like, yo, who the fuck? So he's like, yo, bro, that shit hot. What the fuck you acting like? Like, you trying to be one of these square-ass white boys like you ain't a whole respected gangster. Like, let's put this shit out. So we started doing open mics. I was killing shit on campus. Everybody knew I was going to other campuses killing shit. And he was like, yo, we got to put a tape out. I'm like, I'm not putting a tape out. We could do these freestyle shits all day long. We're not putting shit out. He nagged me for a whole fucking year. So one day I got up. I came spent the night at our apartment. And I woke up. Him and my boy Pesci, shout out Joe Pesci. And I woke up one morning. I cooked breakfast. He was like, you cooking breakfast, OG? What's up? I opened my paper. I sat on the couch eating breakfast. I was like, by the way, you got the hard drive cards? Like, yeah. I was like, go in there and pick the songs out. We gonna drop a project. Yo, they said, fuck the breakfast. They ran in the room and plugged the hard drive. They plugged the speakers, and we sat down listening to music the whole day. And we just picked records, and then we did skits. And that's when we put out Corner Store Chronicles Volume 1 on Good Friday of 2017, which was crazy reviews. But everybody was like, yo, that shit was too street. The homegirl, the ladies, they was mad at me. The girls was mad at me, boy. They were like, yo, how you gonna put an album out? You ain't make no records for the ladies. You just straight talking gangster. I was like, all right, understandable. So we dropped the album Good Friday, April. I took a couple breaks, so then I went back in the studio in July 2017. I started working. First records I recorded were Feel the Same. And then the next week, I Feel the Same, Narco. What else did I record? I recorded a couple tracks. But Narco definitely the first two. So I was in Corner Store Chronicles Volume 2 when I was in a dark zone. I was like, we gonna talk street on this shit. So then I took a break. My little cousin had passed away in November of 2017, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave this alone. So I had like a good 30 records recorded. March 2019, I came back to it. I started recording again. I stacked up records. Moment, what else? I stacked up Moment, Do for Love, Top Billin', and some other, if you think 8th Grade is a hot album, imagine I recorded 66 songs for it in a 3-year period. Imagine what type of songs didn't make 8th Grade. Then I switched studios in August. Then I started working with Zani, who's on Fulani Blue Eyes, who just dropped her. Shout out to Queen, my business partner. We signed Zani in June of 2019, and we was working, so I was taking a break from it. So the first time Zani came in, Zani was like, wait a minute. Zani heard the record. She's like, nah, I'm an A&R this project. This shit got to come out, bro. You can't just focus on me. So, we switched studios. I recorded 848. I recorded Fan. I recorded I-95. I recorded, what else did I record at Penthouse? I recorded, Certified Flip with Fame Gillette, and I record all these records. So
that's a fucked up song, by the way.
Huh?
You were fucked up for that, by the way.
What, Certified Flip?
Yeah. My nigga said, man, I flew out. That's probably around the time y'all wasn't talking. I'm like, this nigga disrespectful.
That was a true story too, but that was a real story. I don't rap, but like I don't like I told you, I don't go in the booth and rap bullshit. I recollect. Every song on 848 is real. So I flew to Cali on vacation. Zani recorded the interview. She was done with her project, and I finished recording January 3rd, 2020, before Corona hit. I flew out 3 days after Kobe died to LA. I'm on LA, you know what I mean? I'm getting motivated. I'm relaxing, motivated, Hubba Bubba Cushion, all that good stuff. We balling out. My in-house producer, Black Rose, sent me a beat pack because I cussed him out before I flew out of New York. Like, yo, if I don't get a beat pack by the time I get to LA, I'm coming down the middle, I'm beating your ass. So I hung up the phone before I boarded the flight. So I was getting off the flight and one of the air flight attendants was flirting with me. She's giving me her number. I was like, yo, I'm in LA for a couple of days, for a week. She's like, all right, let's link up because I'm from LA. Let me show you. I was like, all right, boom, that's cool. We can hang out.
Just like that?
So I get,
Just like that, huh?
So I'm walking out because I was in business class, but they upgraded my seat for free to first class. So I'm walking out of first class with her, and as she put her number, my phone go ding, 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 ding. It dinged like 15 times. So she was like, oh, your girlfriend, Black Rose. I was like, oh, that's my in-house producer. And I didn't check it, so boom. She gave me her number. We get the baggage check. She's waiting on her car service. My man just pull up. I load the bag. I get in the car, just press play. I type my phone to his car. We left LAX directly to the Staples Center because my boy is the announcer for the Los Angeles Clippers. So off the jet directly to the Staples Center. That was the night the Clippers in Sacramento did that big ass tribute to Kobe. So I was in the house for that one. Afterwards, we chill. So I go to the crib, we party, we ball out, get motivated. And I'm listening to these beats, and I wrote a whole 7-song EP titled LAX Flights, Sinaloa Nights. LAX Flights, Tijuana Nights. So I call Zani the next 4 days. I'm like, hey, Queen, what up? I was like, hey, 848 get a show. I'm going to come home and record LAX Flights, Tijuana Nights. Zani looked at me in the face. I'm like, oh, for real? All right. I'll talk to you later. She hung up on me. I ain't talked to her till I got home. So I got home from LA around 6 in the morning. She hit me when I landed. I hit her. And she's like, all right, boom. She called me. I came home, went to sleep. She called me by the way, that LAX flight Tijuana night? I was like, yeah. She's like, fuck that shit. 848's coming out, whether you like it or not. Do we have a problem? I said, no, ma'am. You the boss.
Damn.
Argue with all the interstate runners. You don't argue with the queen. When the queen want her way, give it to her.
She gets her way.
So when I came from LA, I didn't record for a good 2-3 weeks. Then I went in the studio. I recorded. I-95 was a late edition because I had to sub out a record, and Nobody Knows was a late edition. Those two records were the late editions on 848. I-95 and Nobody Knows.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Which one is Nobody Knows?
Nobody Knows. Huh?
How does that one go? I can't remember that one.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it sounds like a gospel. It reminded me of a gospel song.
By T.L. Barnett.
Yeah.
Glory. That's why I got so. That song to me was like me blurring the lines between Alpha Yaya Barry and Nova Soprano. If you listen to that song, it sounds like a person that's tired that just wants to, it's just bearing their soul.
I got that from a lot of your records too. It's almost like you have this alter ego shit going on. And a lot of, you know what I mean?
You got Young Goldie the Pimp. You got Fulani Blue Eyes. You got Young Paco. You got Nova Soprano. And you got my whole, I got
you got Yaya on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yaya was the street, but Yaya is basically Alpha Yaya. Yaya's like the street dude, but Yaya and Alpha Yaya lived a life that Nova Soprano, Goldie, Young Paco, or Fulani Blue raps about. So it's different. So Fulani Blue is the mafia. Don Fulani Blue Eyes, that's the mafia dude. That's the boss. Young Paco, or Paco the Don, he a boss too, but he a fly dude. Young Goldie, he a player, he a pimp. Feel me?
Nice. So
yeah. So like you heard it on 848, you heard every one of those on 848.
848, shout out to 848 album, man. That album is crazy, man. I'm about to play some shit to you real quick, man.
But at the end of the day, man, Africa for Africa. This is the mentality I want every African artist to go by. By Africa, for Africa.
Y'all heard it right here, man. Y'all need to shut the fuck up and listen to bars.